I just got off the phone with a busy sports dad. He was looking for some speed and agility training for his daughter. She was a middle school age lady. She plays, for a local club, and she was looking to really get faster, more specifically getting faster, and then the side-to-side quickness because she was getting beat a lot by other opponents. So therefore, she'd really play off them to respect their speed and their power. And so anyways, what we're going to do is we are going to break down, help you guys identify what the limiting factor is for your athlete, and then how to take them really from being slower, weaker, and really less confident, playing their sport to a faster, stronger, again, more confident version of themselves, and really identify their limiting factor, what's really holding your athlete back. Because a lot of the times is our natural inclination is we'll give them more skill stuff, more touches, more throwing, instructing, whatever it is. But really that could not be the thing that's holding their athlete back. And we're explaining what that means here in 2 seconds, okay? So let's say your athlete right here, number one, say this is athlete number one and this is athlete number two. And so let's say, we'll just say this is S. This is their skill. This is their sport. This is why they do what they do. So this is playing their sport. Soccer, baseball, basketball, football, doesn't matter. So this is why we do what we do right here. So now the whole question is how do I get better at my skill? How do I master my craft? How to make it more robust so I can really be great at what I do, be a great athlete, play better, whatever it is for you. Okay, so and a simple analogy to this is that we'll use is the iceberg, okay, from the Titanic. What sunk the Titanic? Not that little tip, not the peak of the iceberg sticking out of the water, but the giant mass underneath it that no one really seen, all right? And that's kind of what happens a lot with athletes and their performance. So we focus so much on the skill, the little thing that we see, but we neglect everything underneath it that it takes to have a better skill, okay? So, and what we mean by that is simply if we go here, this is their skill. What we don't see is the rest of the stuff that goes into creating that skill. So this is the athletes, all their physical qualities, their movement, their speed, their power. And this one is gonna go here, right? It's gonna overlap for the sake of the video, but you get the point of it, okay? So at the very bottom of this, pyramid is their movement. So we'll put a giant M right there. We'll say this is M. This is their movement qualities. This is how well, they have normal joint ranges of motion. They're efficient in their movement, so meaning they know how to move efficiently, side to side and straight ahead. But most kids have never been taught how to move efficiently or how to be fast or just do pure speed training, okay? The second tier in the middle here, this is really their speed, their power, their strength. We'll just put that for there. There's way more into it, but just keeping it simple. Their speed, their power, their strength, their agility, quickness, whatever you want to call it, all the fancy stuff, right? That we'll say, all the sexy stuff that's kind of, the big box jumps and all that stuff. So movement is the foundation of your athlete's skill no matter what, okay? And if I want to increase their skill size, increase their ability to do so, I need to first broaden the base, okay? Again, this is just like your guys' house. The most important part about your house is the foundation of your house, having a solid foundation, no leaks or cracks in your basement. We don't want water getting in. So same idea here. We need to make sure your athlete moves well, which is why we start there when we teach your athletes for their speed and their agility and stuff like that. We want to make sure they move well to keep them safe, but also keep them efficient. So that's the starting piece for everything. So after that, then of course we add, more speed, power, strength stuff that they can handle based off their movement quality. So we don't neglect that immediately. We still get straight into that. But again, we want to teach them how to express their speed and power with good movement qualities. And then that gives them a solid foundation to have a bigger potential. Once they reach up to their sport coach, they have a greater speed, power, strength base. So that way they can build their skills upon that. All right. And so same thing here. If we have poor movement quality, poor speed, power, strength, our sport skill is going to be limited. And again, if we have a better, robust, more, broader sense of movement, greater speed, power, strength, we can do our skill a lot better. That's a simple way to think about that. So again, this applies to any sport. Let's say you're a soccer player and you really wanted to kick the ball further, right? So what you would not go to your kicking coach, right, to say, hey, help me kick harder, right? So let's say you're on target, but every time you kick the ball, it's just so slow. The goalie has time to react and get in front of it and stop it no matter what. So I wouldn't go to my, kicking instructor, just teach me how to strike the ball better. Say you're already striking it great, laces down, everything like that, but you're just lacking the power, okay? So what you do is you go in there, start training your core, start training your hip flexors, so you have more speed, strength, and power. That's the limiting factor for you, not the skill itself, but the fact that the speed, power, strength is really what's preventing you from progressing. So, the dad shared that, they'd show up to tryouts, or they'd show up at tryouts, and at the end, they sit down with the coach, the one-on-one, and they share what you did well, what you did poorly. And then, they would always hear, hey, you're great, you have great vision on the field, but you know what, you're just not fast enough. You're just not, physical as the other girls, whatever that is. That's a limiting factor for the athlete sometimes in the situation, often the times, especially with, they're taking more and more physical education and activity out of the schools and things like that, and the kids just aren't getting it. So their movement and their speed are really being neglected, and we're spending so much time up here at the sports skill. We think that's the answer. So I hope this was really beneficial for you. If it was, make sure you give us a like. Help tag a parent down below that kind of needs to see this. And then also, if you are interested in us training your son or daughter, then you can also click the link down below. Check out the enrollment page, what it looks like to train with us, and then also, some of the success other kids have had in the area.